session, which again, I'm excited to have. I really, really am, because I have another opportunity to talk to the beautiful Soulara, who's been with us before. She's part of the community for a little while, is offering her wonderful services to the world through our community, and is now part of HarmonyFest with a really interesting, and I can say highly needed in this time, masterclass, Soulara, from tension to tranquility, an integrative approach to conquer anxiety. Oh my, that just went straight into my heart, because anxiety, I think, we all know I think we have a pandemic of anxiety. Everyone is experiencing overwhelming anxiety in all different ways.
Mm-hmm.
So, wow, thank you for joining us. Wow. Really, really, really appreciative. So tell us, Soulara, first of all, I want to know a little bit about you. And I'd love to know what inspired you to create this amazing masterclass that can help so many people.
Well, first of all, Sophia, thank you so much for having me again on this amazing platform. It's just incredible, the wonderful things that you are doing in your team. So thank you so much for another opportunity to share. I was sharing with you earlier that my goal for this year was to expand globally. And again, you are a huge part of that. So thank you so much. For those of you who don't know me, I'm going to give a little bit more information about myself. As Sophia said, I am Soulara Sevier. I'm a Reiki master teacher and an oracle. And the oracle portion of my title is just that I tap into my intuitive gifts to help my clients take practical steps on a day-to-day basis. So as I sort of tuned into their energy centers during their Reiki sessions or energy clearing sessions, I get downloads of information and I share that with them. And so they come in the form of step-by-step processes and things they need to do to really expand and to grow and to heal. And so I have a passion to help others heal from the inside out. I have been doing this. I started in 2019, and it's been a journey for me, to be honest. I was a nurse, cardiac registered nurse, for over 16 years. And I found that my passion was really on the preventive side of things. So right around that COVID time, we were just talking about anxiety and the pandemic and how I really believe people haven't recovered yet. I just knew that was my time to just branch away. I've always had that penchant for wellness, and it was like, it's time to move on the front end of that. Let's not wait until my clients become patients. Let's try to get a hold of that energetic signature and see what we can do to clear that if we need to. And so it's been a pleasure. It's been a journey. I now stand in the position of being a Reiki master teacher. So hence the master class for tomorrow evening. I'm very excited about it. You were asking, Sophia, how did I come up with that as a topic? And I was thinking, I said, what is it that globally would be a perspective that most people could identify with? And I came up with anxiety just through research, and again, going back to the pandemic of 2020 and realizing that there's a lot of fallout still. Emotionally, we think about families that have unfortunately broken up. There's a lot of divorces. I've seen the rates, they have shot through the roof. And so there's just a lot of self-exploration that took place and is still taking place, in spite of COVID. I think people were not ready to just sort of be housed and sitting with themselves and issues that were long-standing that may not have been addressed, traumas and things of that nature. So when the idea of anxiety came up, I said, let's do an integrative approach to it. I have a holistic wellness brand, and I said it would be great to have that integrative approach to helping to conquer anxiety.
Absolutely, and thank you, because it's such a prevalent thing that so many people are experiencing anxiety in all different levels. Mm-hmm. So tell us more, Soulara, tell us more about your integrative approach and what will people get out of your masterclass tomorrow?
Absolutely. I really like to focus on bridging the gap between mind, body, and soul. So, we are going to talk about anxiety. We hear the word, but do we really know the definition of it? Do we know how to self diagnose it? Or do we have these symptoms that we're walking around with and aren't really aware that those are signs of anxiety? So, we're going to get into that. We're going to get into triggers and the root causes of that. There's going to be a time to do self exploration, group discussions. Of course, I'm going to have an opportunity for Reiki healing. There's energy clearing and activation that will take place. There's going to be a powerful Q&A as well. And I say powerful because this is your time to ask questions about Reiki, about anxiety, and how Reiki can specifically help the sort of anxiety that a person may be enduring, because there's different types. And we're going to get into that as well. And I think a lot of people are going to begin to think about ways in which they can take the information that's presented and apply it to their life immediately. It won't be like, oh, I'm taking notes and then I'll just put this up until, I need it. No, we're going to need that information as soon as possible, and they'll be getting those steps to take now. So it's just going to be a time of connection with like-minded individuals. Community is always important, Sophia, as you know. And so just to imagine that sacred space to sit and to listen to other stories or questions that people have, and some of that may apply to whoever's coming as well. So I'm looking forward to a powerful, transformative masterclass.
Absolutely. So am I. And I know you've got other people too who are looking forward to it. And so let's just talk about that first of all. So your masterclass is tomorrow, is absolutely tomorrow. So it's October the 12th at 7 p.m. if you're in Eastern states in America, Eastern time zone. And here in Australia, it's on a very powerful day. Oh my Soulara, it's on Friday the 13th.
Oh my goodness, that's right. You all are a day ahead.
We
Yes.
are at 10 a.m. on the 10th of, no, on the 10th month, on Friday the 13th, but at 10 a.m. on the 10th month. And when we were first talking about HarmonyFest, and I was talking to our astrologer, our resident astrologer, I said, I need some dates to run HarmonyFest. And she said the 10th to the 14th. And stuff. And she said Friday the 13th of October is going to be a very, very powerful day. So it's a wonderful time to run a masterclass. And I know a couple of other people who are running masterclasses tomorrow. One of them is an intuitive business coach, and she said she picked that date especially. So it's really, really good. So for everyone who's watching, do click on the links below this video. I know our beautiful virtual assistants, VAs, Maymuna, and everyone have been putting the links in. So do click on those, check it out. Come and join Soulara, because it's a golden opportunity. Just reading it, it really, really is. Because I think what you're helping them with Soulara is, it's conquering anxiety, it's overcoming anxiety, but there's so much more. Because when we're anxious about something, whatever it is, when we're experiencing anxiety, we're closed down.
Absolutely. Right.
So when we overcome that, we conquer anxiety, then, and I'm sure with everything that you're teaching people, we open up to endless possibilities. I love what your event says, because it is endless.
Absolutely. And it's just the awareness that sets the tone for how we can move forward. Sometimes we're experiencing these physical symptoms of anxiety. And as I said, some people may or may not even be aware of what's going on, but they know something's off. And I work with a lot of clients that way. They just know something's off, and they know that it's energetic. And a lot of times this anxiety that we carry isn't even our own, believe it or not. These are learned behaviors, maybe from ancestors or from our parents or grandparents, environments that we grew up in, and we haven't yet tuned into our true resonant frequency, like who we really are. And so it's just a matter of tuning into that and understanding that, oh my goodness, like the root cause is that it's not even my anxiety. Like I don't have this particular phobia or, fear, but it's showing up. And why is it showing up? Because that person was in that environment where it was made, it was highlighted, for example.
Yeah.
Maybe a grandparent or caregiver, had this anxiety. And so it's sort of, children before the age of 7 are in theta mode. So they are absorbing everything. So we've absorbed so much information that doesn't even belong to us. So we're going to unravel that tomorrow. So I'm excited to share information. And again, this is practical. You can use it right away. So you can end this year on a positive note. As Sophia said, endless possibilities once you realize, oh my goodness, this is not what I thought it was. Or if it is, as far as anxiety is concerned, be able to pinpoint what the root causes are and to get your toolkit together. Get your strategies, and we'll talk about those tomorrow, of how to notice those signs right away when it's going into that exacerbated phase and how to control that.
Mhm. Absolutely. Thank you. Thank you.
You're
How
welcome.
has this helped you in your life?
Oh my goodness. Oh, for me, I have to always think about balance. And I know
Yeah.
when we hear the word balance, we kind of say, oh, well, there's no such thing, or people sort of struggle with that. But when I think of balance, I think of a flow. There's highs and lows, peaks and valleys. And for myself and the work that I do working with other energies, it's been so important for me to connect with my own resonant frequency, for me to understand and embody who I am in totality, so that when I encounter energies that are not in accordance with who I am, I can think of, okay, who did I just interact with? Because I'm an empath as well. So I pick up these energies from the environments and people and situations. And so even though I do my regular cleansing and activation every single day, I still work with my clients. I'm still going out and about. So I have to be aware of what I'm feeling. And, if I know that I left the house in a certain manner energetically, and then all of a sudden I'm feeling a sense of overwhelm or anything that is not in accordance to me, I'd like to pinpoint, where did I just come from? What did I just eat? What did I just drink? Okay, let me clear that. Let me harmonize that. And so I use Reiki to do so. So for me, it's made me more accountable unto myself, and just making sure that I pay attention to what's happening around me, making sure I don't inundate myself with low frequency vibration. So looking at the news, or, reading material that is just downright depressing,
Yeah. Yeah. And
So
it's so
yeah, just
true.
guarding myself. Yeah.
I know. It's so
Yeah.
true. We don't realize, or a lot of people don't realize, that what we're watching affects us so very much. And
Yes.
especially in today's world of, reels and shorts, and which is so distracting but so addictive.
Yes.
And that's all adding to the anxiety, because it's adding
It
to
is.
the brain stuff, that all the things that the brain's trying to think about. All
Exactly.
the, and no wonder we have overwhelmed so much. I still go back to, yes, technology has brought us together, absolutely. And if it wasn't for technology, we wouldn't be talking now,
That's
right?
true.
But it's also changed our lives in such a dramatic way
Hmm.
that slowly it's time to go back to remembering a life without phones, remembering a life without the internet, which I know for
Exactly.
some people it's like never.
Oh
Anyway,
my goodness.
that's another conversation, because now we're here again to talk about you and your masterclass. And can I ask you, Soulara, if you could leave with everything that you're doing in the world, which I just want to honor you, right? If you
Thank
could leave a
you.
legacy for everyone who's coming up in this world, which is a challenging world, very challenging. And unfortunately, I don't know if it's going to get any better really soon. It will definitely get better. We know that. When I say better, such easier. We've got to go through all this before we go, this is not what we're looking for. This is not who we are.
Yeah.
But if you could
Yeah.
leave a legacy right now, what would that be?
Well, Sophia, I have this acronym that I have really embodied, and it's enough. ENOUGH.
Amen.
And if we just really tune in to that frequency of being enough, the way that we are, period. We don't have to have the outside validation of, as we just mentioned, social media, of friends or family. Just as an individual person, you are enough. I have to share what the acronym stands for. It is exquisite, notable, one of a kind,
Mhm.
unmatched, genius, and hero. And when we tune into that, when we embody that and fully, not just on the surface, but fully embody that, we will begin to understand that we really are the fingerprint of God. Of God. We are the fingerprint.
We
And
are.
so, yeah, and it's just when you just take that time to discover your uniqueness, and as I said, the acronym speaks for itself. When you spend your time on that wavelength and what you can do to help others, my legacy, I believe, just lives on and on. We have to remember who we are. We have to remember our unique gifts. We have to always know that we don't need to compare ourselves to anyone. We don't need any outside validation. Just because we are here, we are enough. We're heroes because we made it. And it's something. It's something to um, share that message with others through so many different ways. And again, it's just an honor to have a masterclass that really, even though we're talking about conquering anxiety, it's still getting back to that unique self,
Oh,
that self that is
yes,
enough.
yes. Yeah, and I love your acronym of enough. I'm going to make that a motto
Thank you.
if I mean for myself if I can.
Absolutely.
But
Yes,
and
please.
it's true, to remember that no matter what, we are enough. We are perfect in right now in this very moment. We
Hmm.
are definitely enough. And all if
Exactly.
imagine what would happen for the whole world if we just lived, first of all, moment by moment, not worrying about
Yes.
forgetting about the past, not worrying about the future, but living in the now, in this very moment, and knowing
Mhm.
I am enough
Enough. That's
and
right.
really feeling that. Thank
Hmm.
you. Thank you so
It's a
very, very
pleasure.
much, Solara. And for everyone who's watching, whether it's live or replay, like I said, do click on those links and check out
Mhm.
Solara's masterclass, which is coming up tomorrow, not
Yes.
very far away. And also, we will also put your business links in as well. Because we
Okay.
also have the honor of Solara being one of our service providers, and she does amazing Reiki and everything
Thank
else.
you.
So do check out those as well. Really, really wonderful. Now, Solara, before we finish up, well, if I could ask you, is there any questions that I could have asked you, and how would have you answered?
That's a beautiful question. Hmm. Any questions that, and I'm looking at numbers that are saying 1111. So pardon me, because I love numbers. So I'm getting a message, 1111. Um, I would say a question would be, where should one begin who um, is struggling with anxiety and
Yes.
they don't have a supportive network? Um, where should they begin? And my answer would be right here with me,
Mhm.
right here with me. And if for some reason, you're unable to attend tomorrow, I will say this: get connected with a community that can refer people to help you. In this instance, I specialize in lifting these heavy energies when people feel as though they're alone. They don't have a support system. They don't know which step to take. A lot of times it's just such a heavy net of dark energy. All we have to do is begin to lift that. Let's
Yeah.
lift that. And when we do that, clarity comes, and I've seen it happen all the time with my clients. They're able to see the next step that they need to take. Because a lot of times we're just at a point where we're at the end of the rope and we just need someone to come in and just help them. It kind of brings to mind the phrase, pray for me, right? So if I come in, use Reiki to help lift that energy, then it's like a blanket is being literally taken off of their head and they're able to see, oh my goodness, okay. So I feel energized now. And they know what to do. Oh, okay, I can do this, or I need to call this person over here. So it's all about getting connected. Do not sit in darkness. Don't, think that, no one's going to help me. If I ask for help, or I'm going to look weak, or I'm going to, something is not going to work out for you if you reach out for help. Always think in terms of that you're not alone. There's someone else who's struggling with the same thing. So that's what I would say, Sophia. Just
Thank
reach
you.
out for help. There's beautiful communities, especially nowadays. Back when I was really going through my spiritual journey and transitioning with nursing and moving into entrepreneurship, there wasn't a lot of support, and so I did feel that I was by myself a lot of times, and it was a struggle to stay motivated to continue moving. And I just had to keep moving, even though there were days where it was just really painful to see, like, oh my goodness, no one's responding, or I spent a lot of time putting a class together, but I don't see the result from that. And little did I know, it's just a seed. It's just a seed. Keep planting seeds, because people remember, oh, I remember when you did this, and I remember this class that I saw. And even though you may not be aware, there are people that are watching. There are people that are wanting to connect, and at some point will connect, and these people will refer people as well. So that's what I would say. Keep going. Do not sit in darkness. Reach out for help, because there is help available.
There is. And I keep going back to this, saying that, that you're never meant to be alone. And we're not meant to be alone. We're in
Absolutely.
a world, and we are social creatures. And as I like to, honor you for saying, there are many people who are experiencing a similar journey, not the same. I get it, not the same, because everyone has their own shoes, but you're still not meant to be alone. And, as you mentioned, Soulara, that we are, we are a spiritual community. And, and there's so many communities out there in the world. So thank you, Soulara. Just really want to really thank you and honor you for coming today, and for sharing your masterclass tomorrow. And again, for everyone who's watching, click on those links. Come and book Soulara's masterclass there down below. Absolutely. And even if you can't make it, a recording will be available. So do register for Soulara's masterclass, because it's such an, you're talking about an integrative approach, but it's such an not integrative, but such a necessary thing, is to really go within and find who we are. And then one of the ways we do that is to overcome the overwhelm, to conquer the overwhelm.
Exactly.
Otherwise, because if we are overwhelmed, we certainly won't be able to connect with ourselves. So thank you, Soulara. It's been a real pleasure. Thank you.
Thank you so much for having me. I appreciate you. Thank you.
Not a problem.